All right, Defense Matrix, deterring levers in Overwatch 2. This must have been the blog that was talked about earlier. Welcome to another edition of Defense Matrix, where we update you on our efforts to deter cheating and disruptive behavior in Overwatch 2. We talked about filtering out and actioning those who use inappropriate text and voice chat, keeping custom games friendly for all players, combating cheating software, and stopping those who take advantage of cheating. As we roll into Season 7, we'll be focusing on the disruptive behavior of leaving games, along with encouraging the use of effective communication systems like the ping feature. So mech up and let's get right into it. Understanding the impact of levers. In every Overwatch PvP game mode, we hope you enjoy the experience without worrying about others playing with you. However, when a teammate leaves during the match, the fun for everyone involved is impacted. Outside of competitive play, we strive to reasonably accommodate everyone or anyone who needs to exit a match for reasons outside of their control. We certainly don't want you to stay if you are uncomfortable with a disruptive teammate or opponent. Please be sure to report that disruptive player, or perhaps you may have to attend to things away from the computer at a moment's notice. Hi, new parents. Oh, that's kind of cute. You know, actually, I want to make a small note on this. I've seen an uptick in people talking about being banned, or people talking about getting like the report for being banned more often. It kind of sounds like they've stepped it up a little bit and started to be a little bit more aggressive with it, which obviously if people that are actually not toxic getting hit by it, or people that are not actually cheating or whatever, because it does happen, that's a bad thing. However, though, I don't know how many of those are actually true, because I can't tell you how many times I've had people come into my chat and they're like, Flats, I just got fucking banned for a month. I didn't even do anything. And then I check their logs, and like every time they come in my stream, it's like they just say like the most like super sarcastic or negative, or just like are like constantly like trying to like low-key shit on me. And I'm like, well, if you do that in my chat, like, you know, it's kind of like, I wonder, you know. Not saying everyone does that. Obviously, there's people that, you know, obviously aren't actually like that. But, you know, you gotta take it with a grain of salt, because maybe sometimes people are not telling the truth. Maybe you should encounter technical issues, in which we encourage you to just stick to casual game modes while troubleshooting to avoid disruptive actions. If you disconnect, you may often need to pull away from your current game because a group request from your friends just came in. Leaving on such occasions is generally okay, because you will not likely disrupt the next match you're in queue for. The problem comes when someone actively chooses to leave just to be disruptive and immediately queues for another game. Oh man, my stream sniping group, all the people that stream snipe me during my quick play games, oh man, you guys are in some fucking trouble. When your team is down a teammate, it can feel like every team fight is lost before it starts. We backfill the missing player quickly in most casual game modes like quick play. However, the newly added teammate has to start fresh with no ultimate charge, which can lead to an unsatisfactory experience. Weird idea slash tip. What if they started at 25% or 20%, whatever the ult charge you keep thing is? You know, like what if you just started off at 20? Would that make it better? This is why we want to discourage players from repeatedly leaving games, especially with the intention to disrupt the experience of others. Yeah, and also, like, if you're that player who backfills, it kind of sucks being behind everybody else too. Maybe getting a little bit closer to your ult would actually be kind of nice. Introducing queue restrictions for leaving games. Previously, if a player left too many games, 5 or more of your last 20 played, we would apply a 75% penalty to their Battle Pass XP gained for that match. Still, we found that this wasn't enough to deter deliberate leavers, and other players who had to leave unintentionally were still being impacted negatively. Starting in Season 7, we're introducing a queue suspension for most game matching queues. If you leave 4 of your last 20 games played, you will be placed on a 10-minute suspension from queuing from any game mode that grants progression progress. So this is from unranked. If you leave unranked games, this applies, but the suspension only lets you queue training mode or training range and custom games. That's it. No ranked, no unranked, no arcade, which is a pretty big deal. To my knowledge, though, from what I was told, We had some devs in chat earlier. This does not apply to arcade. It applies to ranked and unranked game modes. If you continue to leave games, your suspension will increase to 30 minutes between queues. We feel this is a balanced approach because it doesn't directly affect those who are pulled away from the game, allowing them time before queuing again, while also making it tougher for those who deliberately leave to ruin the experience of others. It also works on like a window system where, so you have 20 games that are played across the window, and every time you play a game, that 20th game gets bumped off. So let's say 19 games ago, you left a game, and then you're on your 20th game, and then you play one more. That game that you left gets bumped off the end, right? So if you leave 4 games within that span of 20, you'll get the 10-minute timer. If you leave 5 games within that 20 games, you'll get another 10-minute timer. And then if you leave 6 games within that 20-minute or 20-game window, you'll get a 30-minute timer. Same thing for 7 games, 8 games, 9 games, etc. The penalties for competitive play remain the same, starting with a 15-minute suspension if you leave and do not complete a game. This penalty increases with every lever violation and can result in a suspension from competitive play for the rest of the season if you leave too many games. Focusing on positive communication. In our last Defense Matrix update, we discussed ways to promote positive communication and discourage disruptive behavior with changes to our text filter settings. Later in Season 7, we're taking another small step toward improvement with our ping system. Notably, our ping system and communication wheel provide instant shot calls that any player can easily see and hear regardless of their language. Pretty cool. Because the need for text and voice chat is not as critical for most players outside of high competitive ranks. Whoa, never seen that before. We will be changing the defaults for both text and voice chat. Text chat will now be set to off by default, previously set to on. For new players in team and match channels. Whoa. Whoa. So when you load up Overwatch for the first time, you're not going to have a text chat. Holy shit. That's actually huge. Good, it's all trash anyways. I don't actually disagree with you. Yeah, it's a team-based game, but real talk, it's really not anymore. Yeah, okay, sorry. It is still a team-based game. Even in my games in high rank, no one ever talks anymore. And every time someone talks, unless it's someone I know or someone I recognize, it's always extremely passive-aggressive. It's always someone fucking spamming some dog shit, spamming some nonsense, or someone saying some racist shit, right? Like, that's what it is like 90% of the time, and it sucks. So, I don't totally agree with this, but like, you know, I don't think it's the worst either. Voice chat will now be set to on, previously set to auto join for new players. Those who prefer to communicate through these channels will need to decide to turn them on. Wait, what? Voice chat will be set to on, previously set to auto join for new players. Wait, so does that mean you'll be in voice chat, but you have to like join the voice chat? So it doesn't like automatically join you in? Is that what that kind of means? So normally there's a group thing here and a team thing here. So right now I'm in voice chat, but I'm not in voice chat. But if I do this and I join the channel, hello, voice chat may be recorded. Hello, Blizzard AI, don't ban me. So now I'm actually in voice chat. So that's what that means. That just means that like they have game chat on, but they're not actually in voice. I don't think people are gonna like that, to be honest with you, because definitely people get really annoyed when people aren't in voice. And I think it's the opinion of many, many streamers, especially, that voice chat should be forced to auto join. That is actually a lot of people's opinion. It should be forced to auto join you, but you don't have to talk, right? Like just being in voice to listen to comms is very important, for competitive specifically. So I'm not saying I agree with that, or that's my opinion. I don't really have a dog in that fight, but I'm assuming those people would be very upset about this change. We hope this will lead to more effective communication through the ping system while reducing the chance of encountering disruptive communication in-game. Thank you for reporting. Oh, this is interesting. We want to take a moment and thank you for continuing to report. We are seeing more and more of you showing the report notifications you receive when logging into the game. Yeah, I've seen that uptick too. Remember, reporting helps us stop disruptive players and identify new and changing behaviors in our online community. As you continue to report, we want to debunk a few misconceptions and explain why reporting matters reporting matters and works to take action on those disrupting the experience for other players. The effectiveness of the report is based on each match in which the disruptive player is reported. This means the report's impact is the same whether just 1 or up to 9 players make a report. Whoa, that's very interesting. So there used to be like an old thing people used to sometimes be like, you know, like 11x on this man, you know, like this person, and try to get like the whole lobby to report them, but it doesn't actually do that. It doesn't matter. Like one person is enough, which is good, but also a little spooky. Players are not likely to be actioned if a group of friends collectively report them, unless the reported player is being disruptive across multiple matches and getting reported by different players. Asking other players in chat channels to report a specific player doesn't help and can make a match experience worse for everyone. Real. Very real. Yeah, and then you always get that fucking shithead who's like, oh, report so-and-so, they said something racist, and they didn't actually say anything. They're just trying to get people to report them. They're like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen it before. Another misconception is when you use the Avoid as Teammate option in the social menu. Avoid as Teammate is a versatile tool to help you control and shape your experience. When someone uses the Avoid as Teammate option, that does not affect the player who is avoided in terms of actioning for disruptive play. Okay, yeah, I don't think anyone thought that. The block function is a BattleNet-wide feature that helps you prevent communication from another player who may be harassing you, but doesn't stop you from being put into another match with that player. Remember to use Avoid as Teammate tool if you feel uncomfortable around another player. Whenever you see someone being disruptive, please report them. It really helps us out by allowing us to take action more quickly against the players that could be ruining the experience for others. Be sure to review our in-game code of conduct. Code of conduct is a handy guide whether to report a player or not. Thank you for your help in-game, or your help to keep our community a positive one. So a couple things I already have for feedback on this. One, I've definitely seen an uptick in people talking about it, which is big W. However, me personally, I've seen literally the same people who say fucked up shit and do fucked up shit in my games all the fucking time. Unfortunately, in high top 500 GM, it's a very small community, so we always kind of know each other. Like everyone kind of knows who people are. This is great for the the masses, right? Getting rid of the masses people, the people who just you bump into some shithead one game and you never see them again, but over time you'll filter them out. But higher up, they don't actually go anywhere because they have 10 alt accounts, and so someone gets banned on an account for a week, they just hop on another account, I see them next game, and it's the cycle never ends. So I'm not saying that there's an easy fix around this, but I wonder if there would be a way for them to know if somebody owns 10 accounts on one PC, and if they're constantly getting actioned on those accounts, then they can't just keep cycling through all the time, Isn't there a lot of top 500 notorious cheaters who never get banned ever? There's a lot of people that have gotten accused, some rightly so, some wrongly so. Not everyone gets it perfect, I mean, I found some guy that I thought was cheating in one of my games. Turns out he was Violet's brother playing from Korea on 350 ping. So even though the shots looked extremely weird, they weren't cheating. It's just they were on 400 fucking ping. So he was looking at a different direction and somebody would die. And I was like, what the f? But it turned out the guy actually wasn't cheating. So I got it wrong. So not everyone gets it right? It's hard because we don't have proof. We don't have the systems that, a company would have to look at that kind of stuff. But at the same time, though, I know tons of people that have just been doing weird shit for years and they've never gotten banned. And I've reported them. I've brought it up to Blizzard before. Nothing ever happened. And I think most streamers actually feel the same way, and they don't even bother reporting anymore, and they don't even bother bringing shit up because, like, if anything, it just makes them a bit of more of a target. But how can you protect a lot of that stuff? This game should have an absolutely functional streamer mode, and that's not just for streamers, that's for players too. Because, like, for example, if you have a feminine name, let's say you name yourself, I don't know, Maria, right? If you're named Maria, you're much more likely to experience people fucking harassing you in game because they think you're a girl, than someone who's named Dick Chomper, you know? Like, okay, I could probably came up with a better name there. Regardless, though, you know? Point is, though, you end up getting more shit, and it's like, you shouldn't have to change your name for something like that. Same thing happens on the streamer side. Point is, yeah, we should have a functioning streamer mode for sure. That shouldn't be for question. Also, I'm just gonna throw it in there. We should also have creator codes, but that's a different thing. Anyways, but yeah. So, anyways, though, pretty good blog. It's cool to see that people are starting to have their faith restored a little bit in the reporting system. Needs to keep that up. But I really want to see a functioning streamer mode sometime before the year 2025. That would be goddamn great.